So I figured out why I was so constipated, and it was because of the spinach I was eating. I was eating so much spinach that, yeah, it stopped me up. I didn't even know that that's what it did, but it does. I think the only thing that I'm struggling with right now is trying to keep my carb 30% or lower. So I gave up the carbs, right? Okay, so I gave up the bread and the rice and the pasta. However, there are so many vegetables and fruits out there that have carbs in them at a level that outweighs everything else. So, like for instance, if you eat spinach or something, it's gonna have more carbs in it than protein or whatever. And right now, it's coming down to protein, fat, and carbs. It's gonna basically matter one way or another. And so, the difficulty is actually keeping it that low because so many fruits and vegetables, there's lots of carbs in them. At this point, I'm trying to get down to a very low body percentage, and so that's why it matters. So I'm not struggling anymore with cravings or, feeling like I'm about to fall apart because I haven't had any, toast or anything like that. That's not a big deal. The difficulty is just figuring this whole mess out so I could take the guesswork out of this situation. This is the frustration that I have to deal with. I cannot eat that much meat. It's just like ridiculous, just to keep eating meat all day long just so that my percentage of carbs is not that high. But one thing I figured out, I had like a cup of I won't say maybe it was a cup of sweet potatoes with what I ate this morning, right? I probably shouldn't have had that. I took it off of the MyFitnessPal, what I track my macros on, and what I realized is that if I wouldn't have eaten that, then I wouldn't be struggling with trying to keep my carbs down today. So the moral of the story is tomorrow, stay away from high carb vegetables, period. Just don't do it, or I'm going to keep ending up like this. I am honestly mad about this because it feels like I'm going to have to give up sweet potatoes. And not just sweet potatoes. Well, okay, let me stop being dramatic. I won't have to give up sweet potatoes, but I will have to eat very little. And it's just like I say all the time on my videos, sometimes your healthier alternatives have to have healthier alternatives. So my healthier alternative to potatoes was sweet potatoes, and now I can't really have that much because sweet potatoes are still potatoes and they are still high in carbs. But it's just let me just put it this way. Certain fruits and vegetables that are high in carbs, you just have to have it sparingly. So just like you would have spice and salt sparingly, you need to have certain vegetables and fruits sparingly because not every vegetable and fruit is created equal. Some are more nutrient dense than others, and some are higher in carb than others, etc. They all have different nutritional values. Just because they're a vegetable doesn't automatically mean that you could just eat it in abundance. You cannot. You still have to be careful with everything that you eat, even if it's quote unquote healthy. But I think I understand where I've been going wrong. If I knew vegetables and fruits better, then I would have not been making these mistakes. So I thought that I knew, but I'm really getting to know because it's messing my numbers up. But I'm excited too because, this makes me have to get more and more creative. And the more I am forced to be creative is the more I get to learn about food. And that's good, for me to know that. to have a variety, a big, you know, arsenal of different ways I can throw meals together, you know, and guide people. I was stuck on spinach for so long. That's why I got so constipated. But, you know, there's so many other greens that I could be eating, especially at this point in my life where I could just pretty much eat anything. I don't have to have any seasoning. Like, I can eat eggs with no seasoning, vegetables with no seasoning, no dips, no sauce, no nothing. And it took me a while to get there, but now this is the time that I can actually eat a lot of good stuff that I've been missing out on all my life because I was worried about taste. And so that's good. I think I'm going to do a lot better tomorrow. One thing about it is I had to eat all of that meat and I still didn't finish it. I had to eat all of that meat for lunch, but because I did that, I'm not hungry. I feel like I don't have to eat for the rest of the day. I ate that and some nuts, and I have so many calories left over to eat for today. It's ridiculous, but I'm not hungry because I'm just full of meat. If I would have ate a whole bunch of carbs, that would not be the case. I would be hungry right now, so I guess that's a good thing, you know?